Good evening, fellas. It's been a while since I did one of these videos, but I had a customer come up with something unique. Essentially what he wants is he wants to be able to start his casting machine up, and then after it casts a certain number of cycles, which would be a certain number of bullets, he wanted his machine not only to stop run mode, but to also turn off his heating element of his pot, essentially kill the pot. So he could start it up, go do something else, and after it cast X amount, that essentially it would power, everything down. I don't recommend that people leave a machine unattended for any periods of time because anything can happen. So here it is right here. Now when you power the panel up, it's going to come up to the startup screen. As you can see, this is version 7.4 because I made the change. This is my test jig. Each one of these lights, these three here, represent an air cylinder. The red one represents the limit switch. So every time you hear that little click, that's me closing the limit switch. So when you power the panel up, the upper air cylinder is going to energize, which will allow you to move the handle freely. Now, everything else is pretty much the same. I added a switch under the F2 screen called counter PID stop. That does exactly what it says. So once the counter reaches X amount of cycles, it will kill the power to the PID controller here, as well as take it off of run mode. I'm going to turn it on just for this demonstration purposes. F3 is the standard screen that's always been there. You have your start delay, which is in seconds, your lead pour, which is 500 milliseconds, lead harden, which is 4 seconds, and stroke and mold cool, which is 2. The screen's kind of hard to push. Then you have your double tap screen. The 145 you're going to have to change according to your machine. 145 is the amount of delay that it comes back before going back down when it taps. Depending on how tight your machine is or how loose, that will have to change. The double tap counter is how many times it taps. The double tap stroke and mold cool, that's the same as on the other screen, but it is unique for this. So when you're running double tap, you're staying down at the bottom longer because you're double tapping. So you might change that. The F5 screen is the counter screen. I went ahead and I have the limit on, and I have it set to 20 just for our demonstration purposes here. So we're going to go back. You can see that I have my counter PID stop on. And I'm going to put it in run mode. Let me back it up so you can see. You can see it's in run mode. Now, the operation is that when you close the limit switch, it waits 2 seconds, it pours lead, then it waits the predetermined amount of time, and you're going to see both these lights light up. Now, they're on longer because I'm holding the limit switch down with my finger, but normally when they light up, the limit switch would be released because it's moving. Now, it does not do anything else if the limit switch does not close. That's kind of a safety feature. So when the limit switch closes back again, you're going to see it wait, pour lead, and then go through and try to move. You'll get the movement on. Now, as you see, you can see in the right-hand corner of the display the counter. Now I'm gonna cycle it, and you can hear the clicking of me hitting the limit switches. And as you can see, the counter's going. Of course, it normally would not go this fast, but for our video here, it's going to go quick. You can see the green light is on for run mode. You can see the PID is energized. The reason why it says 71 is because I don't have a pot in here. I'm inside my house. So what's going to happen is when I hit to 20, it is going to do two things. it's going to turn the green light off, which means it goes off of run mode, and it is going to kill the PID. Now, you see you cannot energize it. You can see this is dead. Okay. So you can go back in and turn off the counter pit stop, and the PID will come back on again. But if your counter is reached and the limit is on, this PID will not be energized. You will not have any power here. So you can reset it, and you notice that it come back on again. You also notice that you can energize it again. And let's just say you don't want to kill everything. You just want, you're there walking around the shop, and it's casting away, but you want it to stop whenever it reaches its limit. So you can see my limit's still on. I'm going to cycle through real quick, and you're going to notice that when it hits 20, it goes off of run mode, but now your heating element does not die. You're not killing the heating element. Again, if this is on and this limit's reached, you cannot energize this. You can reset it, it'll come back on. You can go through and let me get back up. You can go through and turn off the limit. It'll come back on. But here, you notice, we're already at the limit. So if I turn the limit on, it automatically cuts it off because it's already at the limit. That is pretty much it. That was the only major change right there. Like I said, that customer wanted to be able to have the heating element cut off whenever it reached a certain amount of bullets. The panel would still, of course, be powered up. That's not such a big deal. But that is it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.